Yeah, that's awesome.
Planet of the Discounts has officially arrived, and this sale ends on Thursday, September 26th at 3 a.m. if you're in North America, or Wednesday, September 25th at 7 p.m. if you're in the UK or Australia. And don't forget, I highly recommend that you subscribe so that way you can save, because I put these sales videos out every week, or if not every 2 weeks, whenever Sony puts the PlayStation VR2 games on sale. And for every sales video, I do include chapters, that way you can skip to the beginning of each one, see the price of the game. I'll speak to it for a second while showing you a trailer. The first game is a testament to how incredible VR can transform a game, and this one is without any exception the scariest game out there to date. We're talking about MADISON VR. This is normally $46.99. It's 25% off, making it $34.24. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $32.89. And I have to say this right away, I did not watch any trailers going into this game, so I had no idea what the theme of the game was, other than it's supposed to be the scariest game ever made. And I have to say, yes, it's the most intense, visceral experience I've ever had.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so crazy.
The second one actually did, I know the best way to play MADISON, because I did figure this out, man. I'm so glad I did check the options. I'm just going to say this right now. There is a hard mode and a normal mode. I always choose normal because I do see that's what the developers intended. However, under that description, it does say that the HUD is off in hard mode. And that was the key selling point for me. And you know, I didn't know how much more different it would be, other than I did want that HUD off. And yes, I have to say, guys, if you go into normal right away, you are going to see these floating icons when you approach a table. And that totally kills the immersion for me. It really does. But in hard mode, the only difference is you would just hold your hand. Your thumb is literally like your crosshair, your pins on a gun, and you line it up to an area that you think you can interact with, and it will highlight, literally, this dot goes to a circle or an actual picture showing you what you can do in that moment. So I'm not going to get into it, but that said, I do highly recommend you get this game unless you have some sort of heart condition. No joke. It is that scary. It's so intense. So intense. I did not know what to expect, other than it's supposed to be the scariest game ever, according to science.
Oh, the way he runs at you. Oh, you son of a bitch. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Now, the next game I can recommend to everybody, and if you own the PSVR 2, you probably already have this, and if you don't have this, you absolutely should get this right now. We're talking about Resident Evil Village. It's normally $49.99. It's 60% off, making this one $19.99. Almost 29,000 people have rated this 4.7 out of 5 stars, and unlike all the other Resident Evils in VR, this one actually does feel like it was made from the ground up in VR, even though it was on flat screen first. What I'm talking about is the way you actually grab your flashlight when you reach into your trench coat, even holding the flashlight while I'm shooting. Unlike PSVR 1, your hands were locked onto that DualShock, where you now have your PSVR 2 Sense controllers independently moving in full 3D life-size 4K HDR OLED. Oh my, it really is that next-gen experience. So yes, do not be turned off by the horror theme or the flavor. Again, any non-horror fan should really pick this up. It is that incredible. And I've had some questions in the past about how to get the actual VR mode, because it's not in the game. All you have to do is actually go into the shop, look for Resident Evil there, select the game, go down all the way till you see add-ons, and then you'll find the VR mode in there. As well, with the actual standard game here, you are getting Resident Evil Reverse. This is not in VR, it's only flat screen. I just feel compelled to tell you that's part of the game. It is an online service where you play with your friends against each other, and then I think whoever dies on your team, they become the monsters and they're now fighting you. Really bizarre. I've never played it before. I won't play it, honestly. It's not in VR, so I don't really care, but you may, so I'm just speaking to that. And if you're totally unsure whether or not the actual VR experience is for you, I highly recommend you do check out that gameplay VR demo. Why not? It's totally free. And yes, I'm going to say right now, you're going to want to get the game at that price, 20 bucks, come on. However, they are offering some DLC on sale, and I'm not recommending any of it. I'm just letting you know, because if you do own the game, you may be interested in this stuff. The first one being the Extra Content Shop All Access Voucher PS4 and PS5. It's normally $6.99. It's 60% off, making it $2.79. And right here on the PlayStation Store, it just says that it unlocks all rewards in the Extra Content Shop. The item will have no effect on any rewards you've already unlocked. They're also featuring the Mr. Raccoon Weapon Charm. It's normally $1.49. It's 25% off, making it $1.11. And the PlayStation Store description says, once you've downloaded it, this item can be obtained in the in-game merchant. Apply this custom part to a specific shotgun to have the charm appear in-game on your weapon. I do not know what that actual charm does. Usually there's like a 5% bonus or something applied to your actual weapon. I'm not too sure. Anyone in the comments that can speak to that, please do. The other DLC they're offering for Resident Evil 8, I just spoke to Resident Evil Reverse. In that game, they have what's called result points. Again, I've never played this before, but if you want to bolster your character up, you can. They're selling the Resident Evil Reverse RP Booster times 3. It's normally $3.99. It's 25% off, making it $2.99. As well, they're offering an RP Booster times 10. That's normally $10.99. It's 25% off, making it $8.24. But if you want to get 50 of them, it's normally $39.99. It's 25% off, making it $29.99. And I gotta say, why not just get another game? You know, I've never played this before. I can't imagine it being better than the standard VR game, just saying. As well, they're offering a Survival Resources Pack. It's normally $1.49. It's 25% off, making it $1.11. And with that, the item can be obtained via the in-game merchant and includes handgun ammo, shotgun ammo, a first aid med pack, and a lockpick. You do not need any of this stuff, honestly. And it's saying that it's only available once during each playthrough, so I don't even think you can stock up on them and then use them all in one hit. Interesting, very weird. The next thing they're offering on sale is significant. This one's called the Trauma Pack. It's normally $17.49. It's 25% off, making it $13.11. And in this, you're getting an assortment of goodies, one of them being the Samurai Edge AW Model 01, Resident Evil 7 found footage filter, the tape recorder save point from Resident Evil 7, Save for Music, Go Tell Aunt Rhody, which I absolutely love, think that's so cool, a Mr. Everywhere weapon charm, can't speak to that, don't know what that gives you. You do unlock the Village of Shadows difficulty, so that adds another level of difficulty to the game if you want to replay the game yet again. The Tragedy of Ethan Winters art book and the Baker Incident Report, which I have no idea what that's about, so I can't speak to it. Sorry. Anyone in the comment section that does know what that means, the Baker Incident Report, if you want to speak to it, that'd be awesome. Thank you very much. But the other most significant DLC they are offering is called the Winters Expansion. Again, this is not in VR, it's only flat screen. I just feel compelled to tell you that's part of the game. And there are 3 major things you get with this game. The first one being you can play this in third-person mode. So this is classic Resident Evil style. If you love Resident Evil and you want to re-experience it again from the third person, you absolutely can. The next one being the Mercenaries Additional Orders. And that said, because Resident Evil 4 did have a mode called the Mercenaries, this one is Additional Orders, and it's featuring 3 new characters, one being the towering Lady Dimitrescu, who is now playable for the first time. Do I ever wish this was in VR? I have no idea why they didn't do this. And the last one is extremely important for the actual overall story. This one's called Shadows of Rose. This is like 20 years later, the baby has grown up to a young adult, and now you're playing as her revisiting the area that you were in Resident Evil 8. Very cool. But again, because it's not in VR, I'm not going to play it. I haven't even looked on YouTube to see what happens afterwards. But if they did include this in VR, I would play it immediately. So it's too bad. And the next thing they have available is the Street Wolf outfit, available for Rose in the Winters expansion only. So do not buy this if you don't have that DLC. This is normally $3.99. It's 25% off, making it $2.99 total. And it just says on the PlayStation Store description, you're giving her a tougher look as she takes on enemies with this jacket, which features the logo of Chris Redfield's Hound Wolf Squad on the back, which I had no idea. It's so cool to see, you know, such an awesome AAA studio such as Capcom lead and innovate in the VR medium and then continue to do so with Resident Evil 4. It's normally $53.49. It's 25% off, making it $40.11. And with over 70,000 people rating this 4.77 out of 5 stars, to see and hear this released on PS5, you know, over a year, 2 years ago, and everyone rant and rave how it's a 10 out of 10. And then they released this VR mode for free. I'm like, okay, yeah, buying the game immediately. It launched, and I was just blown away. Even after playing Resident Evil 7 and 8, you know, to pick this game up and then walk around, old school gaming, classic formula, action oriented, bosses, everything. So different, so fresh, so new, yet so familiar. You know, for an old school gamer like me, to play this in VR was just such a treat, honestly.
Oh, that's crazy! Whoa.
And like Resident Evil 8, this game does not just allow you to pop in the game and play in VR. You do have to go to your home screen underneath your game tile, go where play game is. To the right, you're going to see 3 dots. Click that in there. You should see the view product or the actual VR mode in there. And if you're unsure whether or not this game is for you, please do check out that VR gameplay demo, and that should do it for you. Whether or not you're into the Resident Evil horror stuff, I do think this game is incredible in VR. And just like I spoke to in Resident Evil 8, the Mercenaries is included in this game. It's not in VR, again, it's flat screen, but if you're buying the game, you might as well know what you're getting with it. And from what I understand, it's just testing your skills based on time limits and whatnot. So it's a series of challenges constantly, you know, pitting you against hordes of enemies. Again, it's not in VR, so I'm not going to play it. I just want to let you guys know what you're getting. And just like every VR game, man, I have to highly recommend that you play this in room scale VR, where you're using your full body to turn, crouch, all that stuff. It just totally immerses you in this world. It's amazing.
You can see the actual hair sticking out of his skin. That's his head for me. So that's the difference. life-size VR. Oh yeah.
And of course, there is some Resident Evil 4 DLC on sale. Again, I'm not recommending any of this stuff, but you can get the Resident Evil 4 Extra DLC pack. It's normally $26.99. It's 25% off, making it $20.24. And there you're getting the Leon and Ashley. It's a casual costume set, as well as the romantic costume set. And then there's a Leon costume and filter. I believe that filter is only for flat screen. I've never tested this before, but I'm assuming it's flat screen only. And then of course the Leon costume and filter villain, giving him a different costume and filter. Leon accessory sunglasses, it says bracket sporty. The deluxe weapon Sentinel, as well as the deluxe weapon, the Skull Shaker. And then they're including the original soundtrack swap, which sounds really cool. It totally brings you back 20 years ago to the original game. Never played it before, but as an old school gamer, I would appreciate this had I played it and having that nostalgic vibe. And I do think all these sound effects and gun blasts, all that stuff is using the old soundtrack. Very neat. And then they have a treasure map expansion. You know, I was really confused at first because I'd never played the game, but all it is in the game, you do have a treasure map already. This simply expands on it, gives you more weapons and things to find on top of what you already have in the base game, and I think some new ones, but again, not recommending any of this stuff. And then they're offering only one set of tickets. These tickets are used to upgrade your weapons in-game. You do earn them naturally. It says bracket A because usually they have a series of tickets that you can buy where you can't buy duplicates of it, whereas there's only one set of 5 tickets, so I don't know why they have the A there. But it's normally $13.49. It's 25% off, making this one $10.11. So this item will be added to your treasures map when you want to locate it, and can be used for the main game as well as the paid separate DLC that's not available on sale. That's called Separate Ways. The next game on sale, I know a lot of you have been waiting to go on sale. I believe this is the first time it's ever been. We're talking about Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2. It's normally $53.49. It's 40% off, making this one $32.09. Almost 2,000 people have rated this, 4.67 out of 5 stars, and over 90% have given this 4 or 5 out of 5. This is the sequel to the terrifying VR experience that was brought to us on the PSVR 1 years ago. As a brand new Fazbear employee, you'll have to prove you have what it takes to excel in all aspects of pizzeria management and maintenance. You have to go backstage as a VIP to help Roxanne Wolf and the staff bots get ready for their performances in the Pizzaplex Saloon. You can head into the Fazcade and enjoy classic games like Bonkabon and Phaser Blast. See if you can top all the high scores. Take care of things behind the scenes in the staff-only section of the pizzeria. Deliver first aid to patients who aren't quite feeling themselves, and help animatronics perform routine diagnostics and maintenance. Our food prep courses will help you get the federally mandated amount of value-prepared food in the Pizzaplex. Experience all the joys of high-speed food service and get ready to feed some hungry bots. You can head over to the ticket booth to test our e-ticket attractions, such as Captain Foxy's Cowboy Adventure. On this lighthearted log ride, you'll float through the Old West as a gunslinger in search of booty. And finally, if you're short on dread, dive into the world of our sister location. These special minigames are VR versions of classic experiences from Friday Nights at Freddy's sister location. These fan favorites brought to life promise to be as fun as they are terrifying. So what are you waiting for? Again, that's the official PlayStation Store description. I never played Friday Night at Freddy's on the PSVR 1, just never interested me, to be honest with you, the theme of the game. But man, I had no idea that it would explode in popularity. It's funny because I completely missed out on the Five Nights at Freddy's on the PSVR 1, and yet it was hugely popular. That said, for all of you that did miss out, you can get Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted Full-Time Edition. It's normally $39.99. It's 40% off, making this one $23.99. And with over 12,000 people rating this, 4.64 out of 5 stars. Amazing. And the description says that this is a combined version of the best-selling Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted and its DLC, Curse of Dreadbear, exclusively for the PS5 and PSVR 2. Nice. The new edition includes all content from the original Help Wanted, plus the Halloween DLC, Curse of Dreadbear, giving you over 50 scare fun minigames in one terrifying package. Face your fears in VR or standard non-VR modes, but why would you? Do the VR. And see if you've got what it takes to be an upstanding, committed member of the Fazbear team. But if you did own this on PSVR 1, you can pay a small upgrade fee instead of the actual sale price. Much better. The next horror game that I absolutely am into and do own and have not revisited since it was at launch, it was just so busy, is Propagation Paradise Hotel. It's normally $26.99. It's 40% off, making this one $16.19. Almost 1,000 people have rated this, 4.7 out of 5 stars. Again, 95% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And they throw you right into the game that you're trapped in this Paradise Hotel down in the kitchen where a strange illness has changed all these people into these terrifying zombies. The premise here is that you're trapped inside the the Paradise Hotel where a strange illness has turned people into savage creatures, and you're desperate to find your sister. You play as Emily Diaz as you journey through extreme emotions and intense phases of stealth, exploration, or action. Meet allies and learn how to survive your enemies. Enter the incredibly terrifying atmosphere of Propagation, and then it touts to have free movement and teleportation locomotion support. And the other massively popular game on PSVR 2 that's on sale, we're talking about Arizona Sunshine 2 Deluxe Edition. It's normally $66.99. It's 34% off, making this one $44.21. With just over 1,800 people rating this game 4.51 out of 5 stars and almost 95% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. This is the next generation sequel to the fan favorite VR Apocalypse, packs even more gorgeous zombie action. Narrated by the unmistakable quips of our dark humor protagonist, Arizona Sunshine sets you on an all-new limb-strewn adventure in search of answers. In a post-apocalyptic world where every bullet counts, experience the thrill of realistic combat as you wield all new and fan favorite weapons. This claims to discover all the ways to slay a Fred through a brand new next-gen mutilation and gore system. Interesting. And of course, you can enjoy the full campaign with a friend in 2-player co-op, and that's exactly how I want to experience this game. I've been waiting to, actually. Or you can join up to 3 other friends in the classic Horde mode, with additional free maps dropping across year 1. And I do think they've included 4 updates right now, if not maybe more. But I'm not sure if anything else is coming after that. You know, it's been over a year, I think, now. And just to speak to this, because I have not played the game personally, everyone in the comments section, this is absolutely a blast to play with a friend. And I feel like 99% of you guys in the comments section have only said amazing and positive reviews about this game. And speaking of the other zombie-based VR apocalypse horror game out there, no joke, this is the classic Left 4 Dead in VR. This one's called After the Fall Complete Edition. It's normally $39.99. This is 67% off, making it $13.19. Awesome. With over 900 people rating the game, it did score 3.89 out of 5 stars. And as you can see, it's a complete mixed bag. That said, this was out on PSVR 1 years ago. And then they completely patched the game with the 4K HDR OLED display, the PSVR 2 Sense haptics, the frame rate, the field of view vision, all this stuff completely upgraded for free. And those of you that have posted comments about this game have said it's too bad this game is such a great title that not enough people are playing this online. So I do have to speak to this, even though I haven't actually played it on PSVR 2. Welcome to the line. Decades have passed since the apocalypse turned 1980s Los Angeles into a snow-crested wasteland overrun by mutated undead. Starting out in an underground camp with up to 32 other player survivors, you take up arms as a new harvest runner. Your mission? Venturing out above ground to expand the line's reach into the city and fuel mankind's survival for another day. The complete edition does refer to all of the DLC that was released on the PSVR 1. This includes the Frontrunner Season, Reclamation Update, and the Dissension Update. Essentially, there are 3 ways to play this game. You can choose solo, 4-player co-op, and the competitive Tundra Dome. You can also explore the Sub-Zero LA in a campaign-based mission. Very cool. And the next game on the list apparently is a must-have when it comes to the crazy combat. I've personally never played this before. We're talking about Paint the Town Red Game Bundle. It's normally $19.99. It's 40% off, making it $11.99. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $10.99 total. Only 62 people have rated this game bundle, 4.73 out of 5 stars, but you can see over 90% of the audience gave it 4 or 5 out of 5. And because again, I have no idea what I'm looking at, I'm just reading the description from the PlayStation Store. Paint the Town Red brings the chaotic first-person melee combat into VR with unprecedented control. A fully immersive experience that places you directly in the world of Paint the Town Red, with a host of new features designed to take full advantage of VR. Wield the vast array of weapons with a new level of precision. Execute jabs, swings, and slices with 1-to-1 precision as you fight for survival. Dual wield weapons for devastating combinations, and plan your attacks with the spatial awareness only possible in VR. Interact dynamically with the world around you. Grab and throw objects with real-life movements. React quickly to incoming attacks by blocking and dodging, or use your fists to strike down your voxel-based enemies. The intuitive physics and VR controls take the action to all new heights, making the experience more visceral than ever before. Explore the madness firsthand as you are transported into the heart of action-packed brawls of the scenarios, the fiercely competitive combat waves of the arena, and the harrowing depths of the epic roguelike beneath. A host of accessibility options and ways to customize the experience will allow you to make the game perfectly suit your VR setup and maximize your control. The next game has only been on sale I think once before, and I did love the first game on PSVR 1. I'm talking about Ultrawings 2. It's normally $26.99. It's 25% off, making this $20.24. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $17.54. Already, 580 people have rated this 4.46 out of 5 stars, and most of them are giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. Ultrawings is back, and it's bigger than ever as you return to the skies in 6 all-new aircraft as you complete hundreds of missions across a beautifully stylized island-themed world. Their groundbreaking motion control system returns as you use your virtual hands to fully interact and control your aircraft. With enhanced haptics, you'll actually feel the action. You'll be unlocking new gameplay through this 40 to 60 hour game. 1 minute you'll be dogfighting enemy bogies in a World War II era warplane, and the next you'll be popping balloons with a dart pistol in the ultralight. Yeah, just throw me in the dogfight right away because that's why I'm going to be getting this game. And I believe just like the first game, you're going to have all of these mini islands with a series of challenges going on. But this game claims to be 3 times larger than the original game, and I thought the original was awesome to begin with. And I do know the game supports the HOTAS controllers, which I absolutely loved on the PSVR 1. The only difference in that game was that you had to look and actually click a button in order to interact with your cockpit. Everything else you were controlling with the thrust and the stick. In this game, I've never played on PSVR 2, and I know the PSVR 2 Sense controllers are incredible and the haptics have to be amazing, but I am going to try both ways when I do eventually get this game. The next game I absolutely love and can totally recommend to everybody as it is pick up and play, and it feels like Mario Kart in VR. I'm talking about Galaxy Kart. It's normally $26.99. It's 30% off, making this one $18.89. And I'm surprised to say this, only 322 people have rated this game 4.04 out of 5 stars, and you can see that most of them are giving 4 or 5 out of 5. I feel like that rating has not moved for a very long time, and I have to say, anybody who does already own this game and you haven't played this in months, you do need to put this back in and see that this game has grown like 4 times since the last year. I personally did cover this game when they released that patch to allow every steering wheel to work with this game. Yes, I said that right. Every steering wheel works with this game. I'm currently using my Logitech G29, which does have force feedback, but the game doesn't support force feedback. It actually does have tension when you're turning the wheel. So when I say force feedback, when I hit the side of the rail, the thing's not going to tug out of my hands like a force feedback wheel would. But to actually have that full tension when you're taking a turn and you feel the resistance as you're holding the other controller in your hand, and you can grab that wheel with your 2 fingers still holding that controller comfortably. It really is Mario Kart in VR. Honestly, guys, the first few months the game came out, it only had a handful of tracks, really bare bones stuff, and now I think it's 4 or 5 times bigger than it originally was. It has a total of 18 unique courses now, including 6 tournaments with 9 characters, each with its own unique skill. And what I mean by that, unlike a Mario Kart where everyone has their own weight class, this game heavily features your own unique weapon. One being the pirate that I chose here, and you can see that I'm using my hook shot to literally grab somebody and pull them towards me. Awesome stuff. And right now there are 9 power-ups for everyone to utilize, again with that unique ability that each character has on their own that no one else can have. And of course there are 4 levels of difficulty. This is very important because again with 18 courses, and if you're like me that doesn't get to play online all the time, you just want to jump in and play by yourself really quick. This single player campaign before was 18 courses, I think it was 9 or 10. I had played for a few hours by myself on normal mode, and that's not even touching the hard or challenge mode. So I gotta say, I didn't even get to play online with anybody, and I'm sitting here touting this as an amazing game as you're seeing on screen me having a blast.
I'm not expecting, oh my god, that was scary. Sorry, no balls.
I just can't get enough of it, honestly, because I do love the Mario Kart, but Mario Kart never gave me any tummy flip sensation whatsoever.
Whoa, oh, I felt that in my tummy, man.
This game runs absolutely butter smooth and looks super crisp and clean. Again, this is by VR Kiwi, the same guys that I was promoting that Stilt game that you need to run out and get if you don't own this already. This is another awesome stellar title published by them. Even though you can play this game for half an hour if you're a PlayStation Premium member, you're just going to want to run out and get the game immediately. The next game, hands down, has the best combat mechanics I've ever experienced in VR. I'm talking about Hellsweeper VR Deluxe Edition. It's normally $53.49. It's 45% off, making this $29.41. Over 500 people have rated this 4.27 out of 5 stars, and around 80% of the people loved it. Me being one of them, but I have to say, this game does take hours to become completely acclimated to. and that's an amazing thing because the accessibility, the options that are present here really set the bar for all VR games, I want to say, going forward. I wish every developer would look at this game and see what they're offering here. In this deluxe edition, you are getting the base game, of course, but as well the exclusive skin, the Mythic Hellhound, the Hellsweeper VR official soundtrack, and the Hellsweeper digital art book. I did actually pre-order this and get the deluxe edition. I was worried that I'd be missing out on some sort of extra levels or something awesome, but I haven't even looked at any of that stuff. And I gotta say, I'm totally happy with what I paid at full price back a year ago when it wasn't even fully patched with foveated rendering and stuff. And just speaking to that, anyone who did try this at launch or even months after launch, you had a bad taste in your mouth because the game wasn't up to what we expected. Anyone that played Sariento on PSVR 1, you know what to expect. It should have been something like that, and now it blows Sariento away. I can say this from experience because I platinumed Sariento. I have not platinumed this game. I have not beaten the third act in the game, let alone unlock the other 60% of weapons for me to master. And I'm telling you guys, I'm just using like shotguns, machine guns, swords and stuff, and that's enough on its own. I have not even touched the elemental magic, combining weapons with my elemental magic at the same time, even playing co-op with a friend and combining our powers together at the same time. And with the incredible accessibility, you can choose how you want to play, meaning it's either teleport or slow locomotion, snap turn, smooth turn, or full body like me, and I highly recommend that with all VR games. Playing room scale, stand up, using your whole body to turn, you'll have the most immersive experience possible. Your equilibrium, your body will be synced up to real time instead of artificially turning with your stick. It's the most comfortable experience if you have the room to play. And you will need the room to play this game because, man, you'll be swinging your arms everywhere as you're seeing here, and it's hard to get a bearing as to where you are when you're literally fighting all things in full 360. It's immensely satisfying. No other game has actually given me the adrenaline that this one has. The next game I've never personally played before, but everyone who has said only great things about it. We're talking about Vertigo 2. It's normally $39.99. It's 30% off, making it $27.99. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $25.99. Almost 700 people have rated this, 4.33 out of 5 stars, and mostly all great reviews. This is a single-player adventure built from the ground up for VR. You go deep underground in the reaches of Quantum Reactor 7 as you awake to finish your journey home. You'll have to face bizarre alien flora and fauna leaking from other universes, and deadly android security forces whose job is to purge the reactor of all life. You have to try to determine who to trust as sinister agents lurk just out of sight. This touts to have an incredible range of environments, making Vertigo 2 a constantly fresh adventure. The enemy variety features dozens of creatures and robots that are waiting to be discovered. You can have hybrid locomotion, both smooth and teleportation are viable. Carry an arsenal of 14 weapons, all with unique reload mechanics. Awesome. With fully voiced characters and an original soundtrack, this has a substantial campaign at 10 hours long, giving you a full-fledged single-player experience. It also touts to have this replayability where you can blaze through the game a second time, branching off to new paths with brand new weapons, enemies, and bosses, which sounds awesome for a single-player campaign to add that replayability. Very cool. The one thing I did take from the many comments that have spoke to this game, the only negative is that there are some frame rate issues. So that is a big thing for me. I am super frame rate sensitive. I don't think it's throughout the entire game, but I do think when a lot of things are going on, unless the game's been patched, anyone in the comments that can speak to that, please do. I would be weary of that. But at the sale price, I mean, everyone out there has been saying it was such a surprise hit. So yeah, I do want to check this out. The next game, actually, I've had a few people request me to play this because they want to see me do this in room scale VR. I'm talking about VR Skater. It's normally $46.99. It's 45% off, making this one $25.84. That said, if you don't know what to expect like me, I've never skated before, you can check out the game as a PlayStation Premium member for an hour and a half. And 220 people did rate it 4.28 out of 5 stars. Feel like you are really skating with the most innovative input mechanics, allowing the board control you've always dreamt of. Moving your hands in the same motions you would follow your feet gives you a perspective and level of control never before seen, and the sense of fulfillment experienced upon perfectly executing even the most basic tricks is something that never leaves you. See, and that's just it. I've never skated before again, so I don't know what to actually relate that to. But right away, knowing, I'm using my actual hands and not button clicks to do this stuff. I was never interested in the Tony Hawk skateboard games, but now with this, using my actual body to do the moves, man, I would totally be down to check that out. You'll be guided through flip tricks, grab tricks, grinds, slides, and manuals, enabling you to conquer each of these skills to carve out skating lines and combos during game runs, helping you rack up those points for that all-time high score run. You're going to skate across 7 stunning urban environments as well as the mega ramp, test your mettle by launching yourself across the chasm. A truly amazing VR experience. Enjoy experience points, medals, trophies, leaderboards in the VR Skater Shop where you can exchange your hard-earned XP and swap out your grip tape, trucks, wheels, and of course, that all-important board artwork. And if you didn't know, the game is actually replete with the 90s soundtrack. I think the entire thing includes so many songs. You know, I'm just showing you on screen here, you're seeing the different artists, but this is just speaking to a few of them. So even though the skating theme never appealed to me, the actual room scale mechanics of using my arms to flip the skateboard and do all these tricks absolutely does. And I always appreciate any kind of customization in the game. And just to speak to this, they are offering some DLC, but it's not on sale. This is more custom artwork, and it's the FX Trucks Pack 1, including 6 different pieces of art. And the other piece of DLC they do offer, just showing the love and attention the game's getting, but it's not on sale. This is called the SL Pro Series Tour, and it's normally $19.99 Canadian. And this pack includes a full tour with 5 all-new maps, inspired by professional street skateboarding championships with smooth concrete terrain. As well, it touts to include some new exciting game modes and mechanics. Interesting. But if you wanted all of that instead of just the standard mode, you can get VR Skater Pro Bundle. It's normally $53.49. It's 20% off, making it $42.79. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $40.11. And this Pro Bundle does include that DLC I just featured, not the FX Trucks, the Pro Series, the 5 new maps with it. So that's like $20 extra Canadian in that value. The next game I absolutely want to get for myself eventually, this one's called Barbaria. It's normally $26.99, it's 25% off, making it $20.24. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $18.89. And as you can see, it does show a free trial there. You cannot find it if you type in demo on the PlayStation Store. You will have to go, I think, on the PlayStation Store online on their website and get it there. That's the only way I can see it right now. And with 176 people rating it, it did score 4.64 out of 5 stars. Right on. And I have to say right off the bat, it reminds me of Gorn, but to the next level. It claims to have first-person VR combat with a variety of weapons and minions. But unlike Gorn, this all has to do with realm building. From what I understand, the entire premise of the game is that you're going online and challenging other people's realms by destroying their area, collecting their resources, coming back to yours, building upon your realm, and I think possibly at the same time you can defend it in God mode, you know, standing outside as they're challenging you. I'm not too sure how it works, I've never played before, but I do hear that this game is something that you can play every day for about half an hour to an hour because it gets you constantly addicted to the idea of going back, defending your territory, and then building upon your defenses because other people will go in and smash your stuff up. And you can also watch tabletop replays of attacks on your realm by other players and get attack notifications each time you launch the game. And then you want to go out and destroy their stuff and make your place even better. Super cool premise. The next game has only been on sale a few times now, and I do believe this is the most beautiful voxel-based game ever made. I'm talking about cyubeVR. It's normally $39.99. It's 20% off, making it $31.99. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $29.99. And with almost 800 people rating the game 4.51 out of 5 stars, 80% of the population totally enjoyed themselves. Unlike all the other VR experiences, you get to step into the most visually stunning voxel universe, custom crafted from the unparalleled immersion of VR. Explore a massive world, gather resources, naturally craft with your hands in 3D, and build anything you can imagine. Allow your creativity and imagination to run free or follow the objectives that guide you through the progression of the game, starting from breaking off your first piece of wood from a tree to collecting increasingly rare resources and crafting powerful tools that allow you to fully shape your world. Navigate intricate, luminous caves, delving deep underground, smelt collected resources with realistic VR furnace mechanics, explore deserts to find yourself a cute gecko friend, or design a fortress on top of a towering mountain where you can get an amazing view over the world. If that doesn't suit your fancy, how about construct a bridge to connect 2 sky-high floating islands? Dig yourself deep into the ground and work on complex underground structures, or forego all of that and focus on becoming more and more powerful and having even more options to leave your mark on the world. In cyubeVR, if you can see it, you can reach it, or even destroy it. Explore a fully destructible world that's as fluid as it is expansive, made up of hundreds of billions of individually modifiable voxel blocks with smoothly changing time of day and weather. Experience the beauty of snowflakes slowly accumulating and turning a once sunny field into a winter wonderland. Wah! And to add to all of the awesomeness, it does have custom mod support on PS5. Easily browse, download, and install custom mod blocks created by the cyubeVR community for maximum variety in your builds. Many hundreds of custom mod blocks are available to be used. The game also offers a plethora of settings giving you complete control over your experience to maximize comfort in VR. And one of them would be room scale VR. And from what I hear, laying down on the ground, looking up at the sky in this game is just absolutely immersive. So looking forward to that for sure. The next game has been around since the PSVR 1, and I do remember it being the first game ever to include manual reloads. I'm talking about Gun Club VR. It's normally $33.49, but it's 60% off, making this $13.39. And over 1.8 thousand people have rated this 4.26 out of 5 stars. Amazing. And I gotta say, I did play the shit out of this game when it was on PSVR 1, had a ton of fun. It was the ultimate target practice game out there. So many challenges, even like a zombie mode at the time. Very cool. And it's all just flat targets, but they're moving or popping up in different areas and becoming more and more challenging. But you constantly unlock all of these guns and attachments with this progression system that just keeps you coming back for more. So much fun at the time. So I have not gone back and revisited the PSVR 2 version for this game. There is a small upgrade fee, but it might be at the actual sale price here. If not, maybe a couple cents more. I can't tell. So do work that out for yourself in your own country. I'm not sure. And because the game has had a lot of love and support since its launch years ago, they did include a Gun Club VR SWAT DLC. This is normally $10.99. It's 50% off, making it $5.49. So based on the description that I'm reading here, I think this is a harder, more challenging version of the original game, including other training simulations with hostile targets and a zombie mode as well included with this. Very cool. And you can see here, if you want to pause the screen for yourself, a list of all the new weapons that they've included with this DLC. That said, if you don't own the game already and you do want that SWAT DLC with the base game, you can get Gun Club VR Premium Edition. And this one's normally $39.99. It's 60% off, making it $15.99 total. Speaking of which, they do have Gun Club VR Wild West DLC. It's normally $10.99. It's 50% off, making it $5.49 as well. You're going to hit the dusty streets and duel with deadly bandits, hole up in the old saloon and outlast the undead hordes, or get the new range and master 10 meticulously detailed and fully interactive era-specific weapons. Awesome. And you can see a list of the guns right here if you want to pause and check them out. And it does speak to including another option that if you don't want to manually reload, you can just set it to automatic. But I highly recommend you play this game with manual. That's the whole awesome factor of VR. It truly is satisfying. The next game had an awesome patch for the PSVR 2, totally upgrading the visuals and making everything seem so much better. I'm talking about Crisis Brigade 2 Reloaded. It's normally $19.99. It's 30% off, making it $13.99. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $11.99. And over 500 people rated this game 4.19 out of 5 stars, mainly everybody enjoying the game. And what makes it uniquely awesome and different than all the other ones I'm playing is that you're actually playing an old school arcade game, but you're having to stand there and use your entire body to take cover. It seems so simple, but it's so intuitive to not use any joysticks to move around, just standing in one spot and using your virtual environment and totally taking advantage of anything and everything you have in front of you. So if you don't want to actually physically crouch and you do prefer sitting down, I don't recommend this game. For all of you that love to take advantage of your body in VR, man, absolutely grab this right now. Awesome price for what you're getting. Matrix. That's cool. That's totally, yeah, you see her in there, that's awesome. And the music, I didn't see this before, I swear. That's awesome. Oh, that's great. The next game I honestly probably would never have looked at had I not heard so many positive reviews. I'm talking about Cactus Cowboy Desert Warfare. It's normally $19.99. It's 35% off, making this one $12.99 total. Only 124 people have rated this, but giving it 4.69 out of 5 stars. As you can see, over 90% giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, and everyone who's speaking about this game, they go on to say how awesome the manual reload, the actual gunplay, the campaign, the story itself is just fun. So again, never played this before personally. I will eventually. Again, all of you that have played it, that have commented in the past, have said get the game for sure. Not one person yet has said I bought the game and was disappointed. So I gotta say, at this sale price, it does sound like a win. Just to be clear, this is not the Plants at War version. So this game did expand on that original game and made everything much better. The premise of this game is that you're at an excavation site close to the Bugland border. A mysterious cave is uncovered when the Bug Army launches a sudden assault. They're after something that's inside the cave, something so precious that it sparks an all-out war. Step into the role of Cactus Cowboy, pushing back against the bug army and revealing the sinister plans of their leaders. Dive into an action-packed VR experience that will leave an incredible mark on your memory. And normally I would expect that from a PlayStation Store description. However, all of you again just reiterating how great this game is, and it does include an 8-hour campaign, over 12 unique VR guns with manual reloading. You can totally customize your guns with scopes, grips, and lasers, with over 30 weapon skins to unlock. You're going to battle underground, in the air, and on desert plains. So I totally appreciate everyone in the comments speaking to these games. You know, I never would have looked at them before, whereas now I'm always keeping them on my radar. And another one just like this that's hitting everybody by surprise, we're talking about Mecha Party. It's normally $26.99. It's 50% off, making it $13.49. Only 28 people have rated this 4.14 out of 5 stars, but everybody that is talking about this game jumps into it expecting nothing, and then they're going, wow, this seems like a full-fledged MOBA online VR game. I think it's 3 versus 3 only, but it has that classic formula. I never played Overwatch before, but you know what I'm talking about. If you're into the multiplayer online battle arena games, this has got to be for you. The whole premise and theme just speaks to the future of using toys as like military devices to train in arena style battle for military purposes in the future. Very cool premise. So that's why you're seeing like a cartoon toy feel, but no, it's actually full on MOBA style game. So very cool. Again, only awesome comments about this game, and to see that at that sale price for $8. I'm not into MOBA based games, but for all of you that are, I do think this is your VR solution. The next game totally sounds like it has an amazing soundtrack. This one's called Ragnarock. It's normally $33.49. It's 50% off, making it $16.74. With 344 people, they rated this 4.36 out of 5 stars. And unlike Drums Rock, this game is all about racing in these long boats, and the better that you're doing, you're actually seeing all of your teammates rowing faster and faster against your competitor as they're playing at the same time. Super cool premise, but really it's the music. You know, if I could show you the soundtrack, this is really heavy shit that you're pounding to, man. Love the sound of it, honestly. And it claims to have that Viking music where you unleash the drummer in you and play the epic rock and metal tracks of Ailstorm, Glory Hammer, Windrose, and many more. And that multiplayer is up to 6 players. However, you don't have to play online multiplayer. You can race by yourself against ghost ships in the leaderboard, which is really cool. And if you're unsure whether or not the game's for you, you can totally check out the Ragnarock free demo right now. The next game I played years ago on the PSVR 1, and it was an amazing game at the time. I'm talking about The Room VR, A Dark Matter. It's normally $39.99. It's 30% off, making it $27.99. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $23.99. And again, it's been out for a long time. Over 1.7 thousand people have rated this 4.79 out of 5 stars. 86% of the audience gave this 5 out of 5. And again, just speaking to this, I did play it years ago. I have not revisited this on PSVR 2. You can get a free upgrade if you own it from back in the day, but I don't think that much has changed. Anyone in the comments section that wants to speak to that, please do. And this all takes place at the British Institute of Archaeology in London, 1908. The disappearance of an esteemed Egyptologist prompts a police investigation into the unknown. Explore cryptic locations, examine fantastic gadgets, and enter an otherworldly space which blurs the line between reality and illusion. Designed from the ground up for the unique capabilities of VR, players can inhabit the spine-tingling world of The Room and interact with its strange contraptions in this compelling new chapter. I actually didn't know there was another chapter prior to this, to be honest with you. From what I remember, the game took a handful of hours to play, but I do remember the entire experience was memorable, as in it wasn't lackluster, there was no lull time, it was really good. But again, this is years ago. Playing all the games I'm playing now on PSVR 2, it's hard to recommend, truly, even at that sale price compared to everything else. And speaking of another beautiful classic-based mystery game that was on PSVR 1 and did get the free upgrade, I'm talking about Red Matter. It's normally $26.99. It's 35% off, making it $17.54. Over 1,100 people rated this 4.66 out of 5 stars. This is truly a captivating VR puzzle adventure set in a dystopian Cold War universe. This game is heralded by critics for its unparalleled degree of polish, meticulous attention to detail, and masterful world building. Red Matter seamlessly intertwines an enthralling story and puzzle elements to deliver a truly unforgettable VR experience. As Agent Epsilon, you infiltrate the lunar base on Rhea, uncovering a truth with far-reaching consequences. Here you'll discover breathtaking visuals and a gripping atmosphere in the world of Rhea and the Bulgarian space station, brimming with suspense and intrigue at every turn. In this game, you're going to test your intellect with intricate puzzles and become immersed in a gripping narrative that keeps you on the edge of your seat as you unravel the mysteries. And yes, I did play the game and did beat it and did love it at the time. Again, only a handful of hours, I feel like I was able to beat it, but every second counted. So yes, this was a very well polished game, but it is so hard to recommend knowing all the other games even on this sale right now going on, as I don't feel this game has a lot of replayability. So if you've never played it before, they are offering the Red Matter collection, which includes part 2 on sale on the regular. Whereas of course, if you already own the game, just get the free upgrade, play it on PSVR 2, why not? And then get Red Matter 2, because apparently that is the most beautiful game ever made on PSVR 2. The next game took me by surprise. I did not expect anything because I totally hate Job Simulator. This one's called Cooking Simulator VR. It's normally $33.49. It's 30% off, making it $23.44. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $21.76. And only 151 people have rated this, giving it 4.34 out of 5 stars. And me being one of them, I have to say, guys, again, I went into this expecting to not like it, if anything, being totally turned off by it. And the moment I jump in and get a feel for everything, this is a super complicated cooking game. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. That looks great. That's so cool. Not only are you learning recipes and actually doing them, every aspect of it, you're having to manage your budget and buy the ingredients. And as you're working in the kitchen doing one task, you literally have a time limit while another recipe is coming down, just like classic restaurant style. It totally grades you on how well you're prepping the food. No joke, how well you're cutting the potatoes, how thick those wedges are. It gives you the weight of each wedge. It's crazy how much I'm sprinkling the ingredients on. Everything from the timing as you're cooking the meal, you can see it actually cooking in real time. You know, if you're a little too late or a little too soon, you get judged on all of that. I was talking about the cut, the amount of ingredients that you're pouring onto this stuff. Insane. The actual amount of liquid in the bowl that you're serving as soup. It's crazy how you're garnishing it. So cool. It gives you the impression that you could actually wash the dishes, but you don't have to. But if you do spill stuff on the floor, you can grab your mop and literally mop that stuff up. I unintentionally platinumed the game, even though it's super easy to. Truly it is. I did not even scratch the surface. I'm telling you guys, like I maybe had a handful of recipes on my menu when there's over 80 something. And these are complicated recipes on the menu. This isn't like craft dinner. You're actually putting together like 5-star shit. Thankfully, the room scale VR was totally there, even though it doesn't have decoupling. You know, you can't push forward and move your head while moving forward. However, in this kitchen, it didn't matter. I was able to use my whole body, turn around at all times, bend over, crouch, use the stove. So cool, guys, honestly. You know, as I got better and better at the game, having to actually use a hand timer, grab it with your physical hand, click the timer, do one task while you're doing another. It's insanely overwhelming. So long story short, because you can check out my video, I've totally covered this in detail. What took me by surprise, it was an actual simulator game. Job Simulator to me was like a kids oriented, you know, playing around, having fun kind of thing. Quick little jobs and that's it. This actually feels like a full-on cooking game. The one thing I highly recommend if they're going to do a sequel to this game, or if they add an actual patch, please include a multiplayer mode where we're actually sharing the entire kitchen with 3 other people and we're having to compete against each other with the ingredients in the fridge. How cool would that be? You know, you have X amount of resources and you actually have to fight for the ingredients as you're cooking because you don't know what you're getting at the time. So that alone, I gotta say, would be an awesome game instead of me just doing this by myself. Please, developers, if you're listening, I think you could sell that as like an online game show type feel altogether. The next game I've never played before, I totally want to. I do think this game was out way before I was born. I'm talking about Akka Arrh. It's normally $26.99. It's 55% off, making it $12.14. Only 72 people have rated this, but giving it 4.51 out of 5 stars. From what I understand, the entire premise of the game has to do with you being a turret and trying to prevent enemies from penetrating your perimeter, and you're going to have to constantly zoom in for close range combat to back them up. This modern take combines the intrigue of an incredibly rare Atari arcade prototype with a unique creative vision that delivers a wave shooter that is insanely addictive. This apparently is pure arcade bliss, where you'll be thrown directly into the action where combos, high scores, and survival are your only goals. You're going to want to create massive chains of enemy explosions and rack up ammo for precision shots to keep a combo and your rings of life source protected. Lose them all and it's game over. Simple stuff. You can start from the beginning of the 50 unique levels or simply pick up where you left off from before. And this is actually kind of a cool option for those of you that are photosensitive where you get the flashing lights and it totally throws you off. You can turn this off. The next game bundle is touted as an amazing anime murder mystery type game. We're talking about DYSCHRONIA Chronos Alternate Bundle. It's normally $53.49. It's 55% off, making it $24.07. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $21.39. With only 96 people people rating it, it scored 4.35 out of 5 stars. In this bundle, you're going to play all 3 episodes of the anime-style science fiction crime investigation. You live in Astrum Close, an artificial marine city sealed off from the outside world under a vast dome. This safe haven is seen as the last paradise for humanity as it stands on the brink of destruction. Revolutionary new technology provides crime before it ever happens, thanks to the tireless efforts of city founder Albert Rumford. But the very foundations of Astrum Close are shaken when Rumford himself is found murdered in a crime that all right should have not been possible. Your name is Hal Scion, and you're an investigator with a difference. You are known as a variant human, a person who has the unique ability to both see into and alter the past. And your unique skills are exactly what is needed now. Hide, run, sneak, and escape from the danger as you gather evidence. Then accuse the perpetrators in exciting courtroom sequences where you must prove their culpability even when they're fighting you every step of the way. And if you're unsure whether or not you want to get the entire bundle and you just want to purchase episode 1, it's on sale. It's normally $26.99. It's 45% off, making it $14.84. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $13.49 total. But I'm just going to tell you right now, everything I've read and heard is that the game picks up right after episode 1, right when you're about to set up the courtroom sequence, once you've gathered some evidence. And of course, they have episode 2, the 11th hour, on sale. It's normally $26.99. It's 45% off, making it $14.84 again. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $13.49. And assuming after you've played episode 2, you'll want to get the 3rd episode, it's normally $26.99. It's 45% off, making it $14.84. Again, if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $13.49. Just saying, you know, it only makes sense to actually buy the bundle at that price when each episode's like 13, 14 bucks and the entire bundle's only like $8 or $9 more. So I gotta say, guys, honestly, everybody who's played the game says it only picks up after episode 1. The next game I do own, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. I love the first 2 games. I'm talking about Pixel Ripped 1978 and Atari Adventure. It's normally $33.49. It's 40% off, making it $20.09. That said, if you are a PlayStation Premium member, you can check out the game for an hour, and 192 people have rated this 4.1 out of 5 stars, with over half the audience giving this 5 out of 5. The golden age of Atari is back, and now you can live in it. Pixel Ripped 1978 and Atari Adventure is a love letter to everything Atari. In this totally interactable environment in VR, players are caught in the eye of the hurricane in a wacky time-traveling adventure where they are one of the main programmers at Atari and have to get inside the game world to prevent history from being rewritten by a pesky supervillain. That must be the Cyberlin Lord. Be our hero Dot's right hand in this groovy adventure. This includes first-person shooter puzzles, power-ups and abilities to help you traverse your journey, fully explorable real and gaming worlds, lore-heavy storytelling, groovy 70s soundtrack, tons of Easter eggs and hidden items. It's also a callback to amazing Atari classics such as Millipede, Yar's Revenge, Sword Quest, Tempest, Fast Freddy, Asteroids, Crystal Castles, and much more. Even though this is available on other platforms, I do have to say the PSVR 2 4K HDR OLED always makes cartoons look the best. I did love the first one on the PSVR 1 1989, and Part 2 1995 was an exceptional difference on the PSVR 2. It did get a massive upgrade, but this one was developed for the next-gen headsets. And if you're an old school gamer like me and you loved the Sega CD with the full motion videos, this one apparently is the best anywhere. I'm talking about Not for Broadcast VR. It's normally $33.49. It's 50% off, making it $16.74. If you're a PlayStation Premium member, you can check out the game for 2 hours. That's cool. This is the award-winning, darkly comedic game of televised chaos that critics have called a bizarre masterpiece and quite possibly the best full motion video game ever. And now it's been patched for VR. This takes the gameplay, story, and gripping dark comedy, the original award-winning full motion video adventure, and brings you closer to the news than ever. Get a full view of the entire newsroom, interact with your equipment, and punch, slap, and grab anything that dares to get between you and the truth. Egotistical celebrities, dishonest politicians, and strange sponsors clash on the airwaves. You're in the chair to ensure that the show goes on uninterrupted. This is where you handpick the headlines with your actual hands. That's right, you can experience the lost art of inserting a VHS tape into a deck through the magic of virtual reality. You really have to keep the general public entertained with your editing skills and keep an eye on those ratings. Make politicians look greedy or brave. Make resistance leaders look noble noble or violent, and make news anchors look charming or unhinged. Who and what you decide to show on screen might change the course of history. No pressure. And with that job title, you have to try and keep everything PG. Tune out the chaos, load up the ads, crank up the volume, and immerse yourself in the dreams, fears, hopes, and neurosis of an entire nation, all while sitting on your floor. Ooh, I won't be sitting, I'll be standing for that game, for sure. And because I can't show you the actual full trailer without a copyright, I am going to include links to their actual YouTube channel so you can check out 2 trailers which I feel totally sold me on getting this game. The next game has been on the flat screen for quite some time, and then it did get a VR version. We're talking about Kill It With Fire VR. It's normally $19.99, it's 45% off, making this $10.99. Again, if you're a PlayStation Premium member, you can check out the game for an hour if you're unsure, but 228 people have rated this 3.74 out of 5 stars, with just over half the audience giving it 5 out of 5. Obviously, the title of the game says it all. This game claims to have tons of unique weapons and equipment with 8 different spider species, realistic fire simulation system with gratuitous chaos and destruction. There'll be dozens of optional objectives with loads of hidden upgrades, and in the description it claims to have this secret ending. I'm totally not sure how much fun the game is to actually play. Anyone in the comment section that can speak to this, please do let us know whether we should grab this on sale. The next game I have not even loaded it yet, so I can't speak to it, but the ratings totally blew me away. I'm talking about Retropolis 2, Never Say Goodbye. It's normally $33.49, it's 20% off, making it $26.79, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $25.11. Only 46 people have rated it, but it scored 4.78 out of 5 stars, with nobody giving it 2 or 1. Almost everybody giving it 5 out of 5. Awesome. This game brings you a whole new epic standalone tale to unfold. Solve sinister mysteries using your extendo arms and unravel the secrets of the city of robots. Totally reminds me of Inspector Gadget. The story is set a year after the events depicted in The Secret of Retropolis, and continues the story of Philip Log, the hard-boiled robo-detective, and Jenny Montage, the automated femme fatale that just can't keep herself out of trouble. The entire game has been meticulously hand-painted within the VR space, boasting an astonishing overall 2.5 million visual brushstrokes, making every moment a stunningly detailed piece of art. I had no idea, honestly. I was sent a free review key, and I gotta get on this, man, sooner than later. I hope to get this out before the end of the sale, at least speak to it. The next game I do own, again, I have not played, even loaded it yet, just trying to find the time. I totally want to check this out. This one's called Mixture. It's normally $33.49. It's 25% off, making it $25.11. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $23.43. Only 31 people have rated it, but giving it 3.94 out of 5 stars. Just under half the audience giving it 5 out of 5, but the rest being completely mixed. No pun intended. This game is supposed to feature 2 enemies actually working together, one in third person, and you with your hands actually mixing and putting together potions, I believe, while helping that third person enemy friend get around the environment. As an odd couple, you must use yourself as a platform, mix materials, cast a melee, solve puzzles, and defeat giant bosses to survive this atmospheric tale. It claims to have hours of exploration with 4 unique biomes and more than 30 levels, which totally entices me because I love the platform games, but yet I'm hearing mixed reviews on this. Not horrible, not amazing, just in between. Anyone, again, in the comment section, if you played the game, own it. Please let us know if we should buy this game on sale. Much appreciated. The next game I can speak to, I did cover it during launch, did a video on it. It has been heavily patched since, and they've included a massive free expansion to the game. We're talking about Green Hell VR. It's normally $39.99. It's 40% off, making it $23.99. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $19.99 total. With 542 people rating it 3.56 out of 5 stars. Again, you can see it's completely mixed. And I do think the launch of the game did really hurt it. You know, my video alone had a lot of people upset just because I was pointing things out, like audio cues not hitting to having no decoupling mode, walking around in this amazing world, but always using your head to turn your entire body. Totally hate that, and I do believe that's still in the game. And then that Spirits of Amazonia DLC that just got included with the game, adding like 10 or 15 more hours. I really feel it's a good time to revisit it. In Green Hell VR, you're going to follow the story of Jake Higgins, a famous anthropologist who's thrown deep into the Amazonian rainforest. You'll find yourself stranded in this dangerous jungle surrounded by predators with only a trusty smartwatch, backpack, and a survival guide to help you stay alive. This now includes the Spirits of Amazonia update, a prequel which presents the adventures of Jake set before the events of the original Green Hell. Your main goal will be to gain the trust of the local tribe along with the chief of the native Amazonian village. To accomplish this, you will need to complete missions relating to the local legends. In order to help out tribe members, provide supplies for the village, which were all rebuilt and tailored for the VR platform, even with the experience I had right at launch, because I was expecting awesomeness, whereas now I do think it is good enough to play through. Again, anyone in the comment section that can speak to this, please let us know whether or not we should grab this on sale. The next game, with another massive discount, didn't have the best reception, but I do believe there's a small niche market for this if you love tennis games. This is Tennis on Court. It's normally $46.99. It's 45% off, making it $25.84. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $23.49 total. And 177 people have rated this 3.6 out of 5 stars. I do think the negative reception that I've heard, at least in the very beginning, was that when you're looking at your opponent on screen, like in game, you would see their arms and stuff rubber band. So it would really throw you off seeing your opponent swing, but it seems like a second later the ball's moving, but everything was just disjointed. I'm not sure if that's still going on right now. Again, anyone in the comment section that can speak to that. But aside from that, I am hearing that the actual game, the mechanics, the gameplay itself, swinging the racket, everything feels, I think, really well done. And in that PlayStation Store description, it does say it's not only a video game, it's real tennis, thanks to these experienced engineers working every day on the design of the tennis equipment, such as rackets, balls, and accessories used by top players on the ATP and WTA tours. No idea. Lift, slice, drop shot, retro, perform all those effects and feel like a real tennis player. You can actually play arcade or realistic. I did not know that. I thought it was only one game mode, so that's very cool. Again, I wonder if people knew that going in and rating the game, whether or not it threw them off if realistic was too difficult. Not too sure. 3 different types of moving: teleport, automatic, and manual. It touts to have fully customizable 3D male and female avatars, and 13 rackets with different characteristics to match with your style. 6 incredible stadiums with different evolution services such as clay, grass, hard. There's also a spectator mode to watch your friends or future opponents performing in live. That's really cool. The realism, such as play with your ball before serving, one-handed or two-handed backhand. There's even umpire and linesman present on the court to follow your matches. And it touts that the AI is almost human thanks to all motion captured animations in match. Interesting. You can improve your skills with 5 training modes, and you can totally play in singles or doubles online matches. Awesome. You know, I really do hope that rubber banding animation has been fixed. Anyone in the comment section that can speak to that, please do let us know. That'd be great. The next game I did play on PSVR 1 years ago, I thought it was good. I didn't think it was amazing, but at this sale price, you might be willing to get it. This is Prison Boss VR. It's normally $26.99. It's 75% off, making it $6.74. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $5.39. It does say the PS5 version. I'm surprised only 384 people have rated it, giving it 3.59 out of 5 stars, and just over half the audience giving it 5, but just over a quarter of the audience giving it 1. This is literally a crafting and simulation game with one simple goal, and that's to make cash. Because you're locked up in your prison cell, you have to produce and sell contraband items to buy your freedom back, but don't get caught by the guards. Crafting at night, you can roll cigarettes, fill up bottles with erotic letters and more. Be sure to stash your goods well, or they'll be snatched by the guards. Cash in on your illegal handiwork by selling it to your fellow inmates. You can also complete special jobs to earn reputation along with useful rewards. And the key features of the game include unlocking 11 craftable items, complete 80 jobs across 4 different prisons. I only did 1 prison, just being honest. Play the game in story, arcade, or boss mode. Did not know that. I only remember playing 1 mode. Customize your cell by adding new furniture. Adapt your cell to the size of your VR play space, and that sounds amazing if I can actually walk around just a little bit in my room, you know, the size of the prison cell. How cool would that be to actually physically walk around? Room scale always makes everything way more immersive. And if you're totally unsure whether or not the game's for you, you can totally download the free Prison Boss VR demo right now. The next game I had no interest in. It's been out for a long time, and then I hear it does have HOTAS support. I'm talking about Awesome Asteroids. It's normally $10.99. It's 50% off, making it $5.49. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 15% more, making this $3.84 total. Only 79 people have rated this, giving it 3.32 out of 5 stars. Awesome Asteroids pays homage to the arcade classics of the time and enhances the gameplay to a full 3D experience. Quite simply, you'll blast through waves of asteroids using lasers, rockets, and Gatling guns while trying to keep bases and other structures from taking damage. Grab shield power-ups to charge your shields, which will protect you from asteroids and mines. You'll need to take out enemy ships before they can destroy your bases while avoiding their defenses. So that is super simple. Whether or not it's fun using the HOTAS, I do believe this game was touting to have the eye tracking, so you just look and it automatically locks on to fire. But yeah, again, I'm not too sure whether or not it's fun to play. Again, anyone in the comment section that wants to speak to it, please do. The next game has been around again on the PSVR 1 for a long time. You can pay a small upgrade fee. I'm talking about A Fisherman's Tale. It's normally $19.99. It's 60% off, making this one $7.99. And with over 600 people rating it 4.38 out of 5 stars, over 85% of the audience gave it 4 or 5 out of 5. I gotta say, the game was a lot of fun back in the day on PSVR 1. It was like a Russian dollhouse game where you're seeing yourself in the micro and macro versions of the same environment and having to utilize that to solve the puzzles. Very cool, seriously, without spoiling it. I do believe it won a ton of awards, and so of course they made a sequel for the PSVR 2 called Another Fisherman's Tale. It's not on sale. However, you can get both games on sale in the Fisherman's Tales bundle. It's normally $39.99. It's 60% off, making it $15.99 total. In the second game, this time you're using your own body as the key to the puzzle. Detach, control, and replace your body parts to solve the mystery behind Bob the Fisherman. The adventure awaits. So I'm not too sure what that game is like. I've never played it before, but everyone who has played both has said the first one is the better one. But I'm not hearing negative about part 2, just it's not as good. The next game launched with the PSVR 2, and everyone, including myself, was very excited to get their hands on this. I'm talking about Kayak VR Mirage. It's normally $30.99. It's 30% off, making it $21.69. And with 1.9 thousand people rating this, it scored 3.63 out of 5 stars. And just speaking from experience, it really is a jaw-dropping and exhilarating journey through these beautiful and unique locations. Truly, and that is from the PlayStation Store description, but it is living up to that merit for sure. But that's all it is for me personally. All I feel is like I'm sitting in the water and I'm able to float around and look at everything and it's cool, but I'm done with it within minutes, being honest. Also too, what I didn't expect, for a VR veteran, I actually had a bit of motion sickness playing this for a few minutes when I first got it. And I do believe that all has to do with the artificial bobbing up and down in the water, because nothing made sense to me. I didn't get physically sick, but just felt off. But I didn't play any of the racing modes online, any of that stuff. Just checked out every location like once and that was it. But I do know a lot of people absolutely love this game. And then they just came out with some new DLC with Soka Valley. That's not on sale right now. However, you can buy the game and the new DLC bundled together. It's normally $37.49. It's 25% off, making it $28.11. And Soka Valley, if I'm pronouncing this properly, is known for its iconic green water, mountain vistas, and lush nature. Take on a new thrilling challenge by paddling down whitewater rapids or explore the nature of this serene valley at your own pace. And yeah, that sounds way more exciting than what I was playing before, being honest. But again, I've never played online racing before. That's probably a blast. Anyone in the comment section that can speak to this, that'd be great. The next game is only on sale in the UK and Australia, and I do own it and I did have a blast playing it. This is Smash VRS. It's normally $15.49. It's 15% off, making it $13.16. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 15% more, making it $10.83 total. 451 people have rated this 4 out of 5 stars. And I can't believe this game was originally made for the Sega Dreamcast back in like the year 2000. And to think that this was not made for VR blows me away. And to have this now reimagined, redefined in VR is so awesome. I absolutely love the ping pong, the pickleball, the badminton. So to see this game in VR, immediately I was drawn to it. However, the only weird factor is that it's in low gravity. I do wish ultimately they would include like a real gravity mode. I know the whole premise is based on this low gravity thing, but everything about it is awesome. But I did play it for hours. I did not get to play any online co-op mode, which I do think would be so much fun. And for all of you single players out there, me included, what really appealed to me is that there's so many challenges in this. Having these massive panels floating around the entire area, and then you have to use your accuracy and your skill to hit these things, just feels so satisfying. You can use your left stick to horizontally slide left and right around the area, because I will not move around my room. No way, man. Just swinging my arm is good enough. And there are some power-ups that you can acquire throughout the game that are on your racket specifically. You can play standing, seated, 1 or 2 left or right-handed. And the actual dynamic music, the original tracks are so well done. It's just got such a unique feel to the game. It's amazing. And if you're totally unsure whether or not the game's for you, you can totally download the free VR demo right now. So personally, I've easily sunk at least 4 to 6 hours into this game when it first came out, had a blast with it, did play all of the challenges that I'm aware of at the time, and then they've announced the Smash VRS New Dimension, and I think you can play this as well cross-platform with flat screen players. I'm not too sure. The PlayStation Store description just says, experience the award-winning thrills of Smash with hundreds of new animations and spectacular special moves. Play solo or online with friends and experience revolutionary hybrid multiplayer between PS5 and PSVR 2. Anyone in the comments that can speak to that, please do. The next game I was going to put at the front of the list with all the other horror games, but it doesn't live up to the same ratings as those other titles. titles. I'm talking about Afterlife VR. It's normally $19.99. It's 20% off, making it $15.99. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $14.99 total. 134 people have rated this 3.19 out of 5 stars. Because I've never played it before, the official PlayStation Store description says that you are Adam Bernhard, a young rookie police officer on a night patrol, as you receive a call that will change your life forever. Uncover secrets hidden deep within the Black Rose Mental Hospital walls, where most of the patients pose a great danger. What is really lurking behind the door of a well-known mental facility, where Adam's younger sister Allison was recently sent? Is there any connection between missing patients and hospital workers in this groundbreaking study about the Indigo Children phenomena? Interesting. Uncover the secrets hidden deep within the Black Rose Mental Hospital walls, where most of the patients pose a threat to themselves and to others. Look into the eyes of pure madness, intrinsically linked with this place and its history. You know, that sounds really cool, not gonna lie. The actual graphics look okay, but again, everywhere I'm reading, I don't want any spoilers, so I'm not watching anybody play this game, but I've heard it's okay. Not bad, not great, just okay. So it is possible that it is worth it at the sale price. I'm not too sure. Anyone in the comment section that wants to speak to it, please do. That'd be great. The next game I've seen on sale quite a few times now, and if you're into farm simulators, this might be for you. We're talking about Across the Valley. It's normally $26.99. It's 60% off, making it $10.79. Only 56 people have rated this 2.93 out of 5 stars. The graphics in Across the Valley have a fantastic drawn style. On your farm, there's something to do every day. Give your plants and animals plenty of love and care. They'll reward you with a bountiful harvest, and use those profits to expand your farm. The features listed on the actual game speak to no motion sickness with the action point location system. No artificial movement is done. Even though that seems like a good bullet point, what it's saying is that you're going node to node teleportation based. You're actually snapping to specific stations of play, from what I understand. Each action point station is designed carefully to have everything you need within the reach of your hands. Again, it's promoting the whole thing being easily accessible, everything right where you are. You don't have to get up and move, none of that stuff. And then it says no button learning, where you do everything with your own hands, and that does feel natural. That is the way VR should be, truly. Literally, you can grab a shovel like you would in real life, dig a hole, sow your seed, all that stuff. With 36 quests or tasks that guide you from the basics of seeding to going on a truffle hunt with your pigs, you have infinite orders to keep you busy, even after the main game. And they're also talking about how you can upgrade your house and make it look nice and cozy. Interesting. But anybody, again, if you're into farm simulators, you may be able to speak to this in the comment section. Let other people who are into that genre know whether or not this game will speak to them. And the next game, you know, I totally got thrown off. I forgot that they actually made this, and then I see this on sale. We're talking about Bocce VR Simulator. It's normally $11.99. It's 30% off, making it $8.39. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 6% more, making it $7.67. Only 12 people have rated this 2.25 out of 5, and the majority giving it 2 or 1 out of 5 stars. And that sucks to say, because I did enjoy playing Bocce years ago when I was a kid with my family. So if it's anything like that, where you're throwing these heavy balls, you know, underhanded, closest to the pin, I think that's what it was, and based on how far you are away from the pin, you get your points there. So you can knock your opponent's ball farther out if you're good at this. But again, in VR, is this much fun? I have no idea. The actual PlayStation Store description goes on to say, in Bocce VR, your physical skills, strategic thinking, and a bit of luck will determine your success. The objective is to throw your balls as close to the Palino, interesting, as possible. Points are deducted for the balls that are closer to the opponent's balls than your own. Awesome. The game ends when a player reaches a predetermined number of points. Experience the perfect simulation of Bocce with all rules and details faithfully recreated. Enjoy the realistic depiction of the pitch and surroundings, making you feel like you're playing in real life. Put on your VR headset and step into the world of Bocce VR. It does feature adjustable difficulty levels. There are 3 unique main maps, such as the park, forest, and sports hall. You have an obstacle mode for added challenge. Interesting. Advanced AI for realistic competition. We'll see. Customizable game point targets, character naming options, and stunning graphics and immersive gameplay. It's just whether or not the actual controls, again, if the tracking and the controls are made perfectly, then I would be addicted to this. It could look like a piece of shit, but as long as the game actually plays like it does in real life, anything that can emulate a sport in VR, and it does it well perfectly. Again, Rainbow Reactor Fusion, that reminds me of basketball. Totally love that. So I do want to try this game. Anyone in the comments section, if you have played Bocce in real life and you do own this game, can you let us know your experience with it? That way we know whether to get this on sale. The next game I've seen on sale a handful of times now, and it piques my interest, but I don't know why it's getting the ratings it currently is. I'm talking about The Murder of Sherlock Holmes. It's normally $18.99. It's 43% off, making this $10.82. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $9.87 total. Only 19 people have rated this, but giving it 2.16 out of 5 stars. That blows me away because the actual description sounds very cool. You're supposed to solve the murder of Sherlock Sherlock Holmes in a VR escape room. Interact with everything in an authentic voxel reconstruction of 221B Baker Street. Search for clues, play the violin, read books, and become a detective. If you like solving puzzles and virtual reality, this game is apparently perfect for you. What's really neat is it says you do not need to press any buttons to confirm actions. Make the OK gesture to progress when asked by the game. Interesting, I wonder if that's finger detection where you're using the touch-sensitive buttons like this to give the OK sign. That would be really cool. And of course, this is full of objects you can interact with. Solve an escape room within this dream world. In here, you'll find objects that don't feel the pull of gravity and impossible mechanisms. You can do things that you cannot do in the real world. The important thing isn't to escape, it's to solve the mystery. Again, I totally promote designers, developers creating VR games where everything is interactive. So the theme, the idea totally appeals to me. Again, anyone in the comments section that owns this, please let us know your experience. That would be very cool. The next game, again, I do not own, I can speak to, and it has been out on PSVR 1 and then they remade it for PSVR 2. I'm talking about Bartender VR Simulator. It's normally $26.99. It's 20% off, making it $21.59. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $20.24 total. 391 people have rated this, 2.3 out of 5 stars, with the mass majority, over half, giving this 1 out of 5. And it does say it's made for the PS5 here, even in the actual PlayStation Store description, the first thing that they speak to. Please note that the PS5 version solves the vast majority of issues known from the PS4 edition. Thanks to the technological possibilities of PSVR 2, you can now fully immerse yourself in a virtual bartending adventure and experience gameplay that's smoother and more fun than ever before. And that's just it. I heard the PSVR 1 version was riddled with glitches and problems like tracking issues, all this stuff. And imagine trying to bartend where everything has to do with pouring precision. I am very surprised these guys did not offer a free upgrade or an upgrade path for people who were disgruntled from the PSVR 1 version. They clearly addressed it in their PlayStation VR 2 store description here. So that kind of throws me off a bit. Anyone, again, in the comments section, if you can speak to this game, if you own it on PSVR 2, we all know the PSVR 1 doesn't work well. The developers are saying it clearly right here. But yes, if you own this on PSVR 2, is it actually doing what it was intended to do? Begin your journey in a music club and learn how to make 4 basic drinks. Master more and more demanding drinks as you progress to new unique bars. Earn the course completion certificate and take up a whole new challenge in the pro mode. A range of drinking glasses to choose from, different liqueurs, beverages, and additions. Working in 4 unique and professionally equipped virtual bars, you will experience the thrill, the art of bartending under the watchful eye of a 6-time bartending world champion. And the last one on the list, I had to let you guys know I cannot recommend this game. There was a ton of problems with it to begin with. I had no expectations whatsoever going into it, but even if they addressed all the problems, I covered this in a video in length. I'm talking about Happy Funland. It's normally $33.49. It's 25% off, making it $25.11. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $23.43 total. Only 144 people have rated this, 3.91 out of 5 stars. I do remember this getting over a 4 just last sale video, and thankfully I'm starting to see these ratings speak more to the truth of this. However, I am very surprised just under half the audience gave this 5 out of 5. Honestly, guys, I probably put this at a 2, almost a 1, almost, of all the problems that were going on in my experience. Again, please do watch that video. Everything from the actual combat, hitting the animatronics with your golf club and them not moving, making sounds, and then you get hit and you don't see any animation whatsoever. Okay. Okay. Yes, I do. The frame rate was constantly inconsistent. Jitter. And then smoothness. My camera, I don't even know if I need that. Oh, it's just so jittery, man. It's too bad. Oh, I'm not sure. No, it's a bit of shiftiness. Oh, it's too bad. It's just subtly shifty that it's annoying me. Oh, that's cool looking. Just not with that jitter, man. Oh, awesome. Oof. Oh, that's wild. That is really cool. Seriously. Neat. It all looks cool. But unfortunately, if it has the shiftiness. Yeah, my tummy. Oof, guys. Me crouching had me do the opposite, actually propel me upwards. That is, I'm floating. I want to say 3 to 4 feet off the ground. And then at the end of the game, man, I'll never forget, and I do feel compelled to show you guys, my ears almost blew out at an end scene when they're in the helicopter talking on this radio remote control. Listen to this. This is from my phone, like 10 feet away from my headset.
Oh, it's a little sharp on the ears, guys. I'm sure you can hear that on my camera. Right? Oh, somebody didn't do the audio check. No joke. You couldn't have.
So yeah, that's really hard to recommend with all those problems. Again, if everything was solved, frame rate issues, I could crouch properly, movement with no collision detection, to the controls feeling better, to the fighting mechanics actually working, to mini putt golf physics actually being there. The whole premise of the game was just a neat little amusement ride to go through, and I got a couple chuckles in a few scenes, but other than that... The smoking says it's a-okay. Sketchy. Stinky. Drinky. That's so sharp. That's just it, man. Some of the stuff looks really good. You must be at least this tall to ride me.
Wanna get a nut, sugar?
Jeez.
Woo-wee, that's why I'm here, baby.
It looked good if I'm standing there looking around. Yes, it did. It did. And that's what threw me off. So yes, I went to Disney World as a kid, guys. I experienced all that stuff. I understand the parody, and I do find the clever, witty humor behind it and how they're making fun of it. It is really well done that way. But the actual gameplay, no, man, no. Sorry, can't recommend it. Not at all. And again, please, everybody in the comments section who does love the game, do speak up in the comments. Let everyone else know, your experience, because I don't speak for everybody. I have my own likes and dislikes as well. So just saying. But yes, you can see from my video, literally the evidence of all the problems going on. The next game bundle, I do believe most of us should have in their PSVR 2 library. I'm talking about Walkabout Mini Golf Lost Cities. This is only available in Australia and the UK on sale. It's normally $19.99. It's 30% off, making it $13.99 total. And this does include the base game with 5 DLCs, the Lost Cities, which I'm going to go over with you really quick here. But before I do, again, you do get the base game Walkabout Mini Golf, and this game already includes 8 unique 18-hole courses to master. You can totally play solo, 1 versus 1 online quick matches, or create a private room with up to 8 players. And speaking of which, these 5 DLCs that you're about to own, if you get this, anyone can play on those maps, even if they don't own it. They just can't play with their special putters they've unlocked in other maps, and they can't play any of the treasure hunts on those maps. They can only play the mini golf, which is awesome. Again, everyone can play, cross-platform too. Each one you can unlock this night mode that includes a more challenging course. And of course, the most important feature here is the extremely accurate physics that feel just like the real thing. Everyone everywhere has been saying that everything about this game is amazing. And as you're playing through, you're going to collect these custom balls hidden throughout each map. You can solve treasure hunts on each hard course to earn special putters. This does support cross-play. You can choose teleport and smooth locomotion, and you have the ability to just fly around like a broomstick. Which style? And don't forget, the main game includes the driving range, practice screen, and more. And the game does feature custom avatars featuring lip sync as you're talking and a quadrillion plus combinations. Very interesting. And now back to those 5 courses. With this Lost Cities bundle, you are getting Atlantis, El Dorado, Temple of Zerzura, Shangri-La, and Gardens of Babylon. Now, for those of you that already own the base game just by itself, they are offering Walkabout Mini Golf Hole-in-One Summer 2024 DLC only. It's normally $65.49. It's 20% off, making it $52.39. And with this Hole-in-One bundle, you do get every DLC that's currently released to date. That's 684 holes of mini golf to master, 342 lost balls to find, and 22 more commemorative putters to discover. Touting this has endless replayability with friends or solo. And with those 19 courses, you are getting the 5 lost cities I just shown you a second ago, as well as Mist. Jim Henson's Labyrinth. Oh, that looks so cool. Jules Verne's Around the World in 80 Days. Sweetopia. Elfheim, Land of the Elves. Lacer Lair. Upside Town. Widow's Walkabout. Jules Verne's Journey to the Center of the Earth. Venice. Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Ice Layer. Meow Wolf. And the latest and greatest, Wallace and Gromit.
Right place. Come in and play around. Quite amazing. Golf in West Wallaby Street. Crazy. Gromit, where did I put me butter? For a cracking time, play Walkabout Mini Golf.
The next set of DLC is for my favorite rhythm-based music game. I'm talking about Synth Riders. The first music pack that's on sale is Electro Swing Essentials 2. It's normally $10.99, it's 20% off, making it $8.79. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $7.69. And if you want to pause the screen right here, you can see there's a list of paid tracks already included, and then there's some free tracks. So if you didn't know, you can actually get some of those free tracks right now. The next DLC is the Synth Riders 80s Mixtape Side A. It's normally $10.99, it's 20% off, making it $8.79. But again, if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $7.69 total. And for each one of these packs, I'm just going to show you the list of songs briefly. That way you can pause the screen if you want to take a look. The next DLC music pack is Gorillaz. It's normally $14.99, it's 20% off, making it $11.99 total. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $10.49. Next, we have League of Legends. It's normally $10.99, it's 20% off, making it $8.79. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $7.69. And this one does include an experience. So this is a PSVR 2 exclusive mode that you can't get on PSVR 1. The next music pack is called Adrenaline. It's normally $10.99. It's 20% off, making it $8.79. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $7.69 total. As well, this does have the Offspring Come Out and Play Plus experience for the PSVR 2 only. The next DLC on sale is called Caravan Palace. It's normally $10.99, it's 20% off, making it $8.79. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $7.69 total. The next music pack on sale is called Groovin' Essentials featuring Bruno Mars. It's normally $10.99, it's 20% off, making it $8.79. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $7.69 total. The next music pack on sale is called Synthwave Essentials 2. It's normally $10.99. It's 20% off, making it $8.79. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $7.69 total. And this pack has the Muse Algorithm alternate reality version plus experience only for the PSVR 2. The next music pack is called the Electro Swing Essentials. It's normally $11.99. It's 20% off, making it $9.59. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $8.39 total. And I'm seeing on here that this actually has one of the stages featured. Again, one of the new modes that I've never played before, so I can't speak to yet. I will, and when I do, I will actually show you guys a full video of just the game itself. The next pack on sale is called Synthwave Essentials 3. It's normally $10.99. It's 20% off, making it $8.79. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $7.69. And this one does have a bunch of tracks listed, as well as some free DLC that you can get. The next music pack is called Cyberpunk Essentials. It's normally $11.99. It's 20% off, making it $9.59. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $8.39 total. And the next Synth Riders DLC is called Muse Music Pack. It's normally $10.99. It's 20% off, making it $8.79. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $7.69 total. And as you see here, all their songs, they do include the Starlight Experience, so that's exclusive to PSVR 2. And the last music pack for Synth Riders on PSVR 2, this one's called Lindsay Sterling. It's normally $10.99. It's 20% off, making it $8.79 total. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it $7.69 total. And here as well, you are getting the Underground plus the experience exclusively for PSVR 2. And I gotta say, everyone who's played the experiences have said it's amazing. I already am floored and always having fun playing the original base game of Synth Riders, so anything to do with the DLC just sounds awesome. And the last piece of DLC for this sale is for Drums Rock specifically. This one's called Power Metal Music Pack. It's normally $9.49. It's 25% off, making it $7.11. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it $6.63 total. And with this Power Metal Music Pack, you are getting Hearts on Fire by Hammerfall, King for a Day by Battle Beast, Blood of the Elves by Blind Guardian, When Angels Kill by Fifth Angel, Higher by Northtail, and Twilight Force by Twilight Force. And that is all of the games and DLC on sale until Thursday, September 26th at 3 a.m. if you're in North America, or Wednesday, September 25th if you're in the UK or Australia. If you guys liked the video I produced today, please click that like button. And if you love what I'm doing with the channel, please subscribe to it. And for all of you that have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I super appreciate it. Until the next one.